In comic books and books this week, talking about the news that is the sequential arts. We have some more numbers confirming that people might actually like the Ultimate Universe version of one very special superhero better than the main version right now, and we're going to get into that. It's kind of a continuation of last week's conversation. Plus, the King of Monsters is back to apparently destroy the Marvel Universe once again. And then, you know, for old school comic book readers and, you know, people who appreciate the greats, we have some pretty cool news from a certain magician, if you will. Coming back to one of the big two, we're keeping this vague in the intro, and it's kind of vague story to begin with anyway, so why not? But that is some of the things we're talking about today in comics. Let's get into the comic book news, and then you can get back to reading your comic books, shall we? Hello nerds, welcome to the Clips channel. This is a clip, as if the channel name was not specific enough. This clip specifically comes from a show that I do over on the main channel called The Week in Nerddom. We are going to be talking about comic books and books very specifically in this clip. So news from the last week that has to do with everything comic books and books. Generally more on the comic book side, because the books side of things is kind of a little bit more slow going when it comes to nerdy content, but we do still cover it. So that being said, I appreciate you joining me. Let's get into the news. All right, so follow-ups, corrections. Let's talk about some comic book follow-ups. March numbers are in, and we now know that Tom Brevoort is really full of poopy. So Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, the graphic novel, so the paperback or the trade collections, I guess. I don't know that it was necessarily paperback or hardcover. It was just the graphic novel sales. So collection 1 and collection 2 are two of the top 3 sales books in the month of March. The main universe Amazing Spider-Man book didn't even crack the top 20 according to Diamond sales number, or ICVC sales numbers. That's insane. The fact that we are seeing the alternate version of a character outsell the main version of that character really should be saying something to these executives over at Marvel. But as we talked about last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, it's just not. Brevoort has said that he doesn't see the correlation between the fact that in the Ultimate Universe, we're getting what we want with Peter and Mary Jane. In the main universe, the Amazing Spider-Man book, they have completely subverted the expectation that the fans have for Peter's personal life, in that he's no longer married to Mary Jane. And the comic book readers are speaking with their wallets, and they're just not listening over at Marvel. They're actively holding their fingers in their ears going, nah, I can't hear you. I mean, what else is there to do other than just to stop buying Marvel art altogether? Oh, yeah, so that's our one follow-up. Let's talk about some regular-ass news. First up, we have, this is kind of a follow-up, but it's a follow-up to the movie section. Werewolf by Midnight, the Disney Plus special edition, the very first, I'm pretty sure, very first Marvel, at least, Disney Plus special edition, or special presentation, rather, movie is what it is getting a prequel. It is actually getting, or a sequel rather, is getting a sequel. The prequel is a completely different story for, I think, I don't know, the same section. Anyway, it's getting a sequel. It's just going to be a comic book sequel and not a movie sequel. So it is going to be featuring Michael Giacchino, I think is how you say his name. He's going to be writing instead of directing the movie. He's writing the book. I forget exactly who the art is from. As we have heard, again, from Brevoort himself, who is the CEO currently of Marvel, I'm pretty sure. He's one of the executives over there. He's the one that makes these calls for the print side of things. He said, in no uncertain terms, and I'm going to be paraphrasing, but still, in no uncertain terms, that the comic books are just grounds for testing what they want to do in the movies. So that has Giacchino very hopeful that we will be getting some sort of sequel to Werewolf by Night, rather, in another Disney Plus special presentation, but As it stands right now, apparently it didn't do well enough for them to give it the live action treatment, so they're giving it the comic book treatment. So that's what we got on that one. Next up, we have a new book has been announced by Marvel. Again, Marvel. We have follow-up to the Godzilla vs. Marvel. It is going to be called Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. It's a new 5-book miniseries going to be on shelves in July. I mean, presumably the first book made money, so that's why they greenlit the second book. Gerry Duggan is going to be writing, and Javier Garron is the artist. I'm not familiar with either of their work, though I'm pretty sure Gerry was the one that was writing the first book. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Next up in regular ass news, we have Grant Morrison announcement. We have his official return to quote unquote superhero comics, as they put it. So Grant Morrison has announced that there's going to be an official announcement as to, you know, the details of what this is, but they are returning to comic books, to one of the big two. Didn't specify which of the big two, but will be coming back. Morrison will be writing for either DC or Marvel sometime soon. Morrison made it clear that the writer is somebody that they have worked with previously and that they actually really are super happy with working with again. And they love dearly is the direct quote. And it's also said to be an unexpected team up. So that seems to imply team up with Marvel, but also could be talking about who the artist is. Even though, again, they said that it is somebody that they love dearly. So I don't know exactly what that means. The announcement, though, should be coming out very soon, again, according to Grant Morrison. So that's what we got on that one. It's kind of a non-piece, but it's Grant Morrison, man. He's one of the greatest comic book writers ever, and yeah. So continuing on, we have, like I said, we do have a prequel book that we're talking about that. All right, nerds, before we go any further, as per usual, this is the season of the merch push. So go check out the link in the description and you can get yourself one of these gaming nerd shirts. This is the special shirt for the month. It is going to be active for at least 2 weeks. It did take me a couple of days longer. It literally took me like a day and a half longer to get up than anticipated. So it didn't go up until Wednesday when it was supposed to go up on Monday, but you know, things happen. So yes, gaming nerd, your specialty nerd, I think I'm calling them the special nerd shirts. So that's the month of April is this special gaming nerd shirt. I'm pretty proud of this design, not gonna lie. It's more than just the t-shirt like we have on the other ones. We also have the hoodie, we have stickers, we have a coffee mug, there's a metal water bottle so you can put your DUBBY in it and, you know, use that as it's not a great shaker bottle, but it works. So go check out the Generally Nerdy store, linked down in the description, so you can get your specialty deal. I will be running a coupon code. Hopefully I will have that ready by the time I'm editing this so I can put it on the screen. Otherwise we'll just talk about it next week. Either way, go get your special nerd gaming nerd shirt. Yeah, this is new territory for me in the designing of things, and I'm having fun with it. So go check it out, go get something while you're at the store, and let's get back to the show. We do have a prequel book that we're talking about that is also a prequel to a live action movie, though this one is a Snyder Cut fanboy's dream, Snyder Universe, I guess, fanboy's dream, because it is a prequel to Rebel Moon. This is Rebel Moon, where'd it go? Rebel Moon Nemesis. So it's going to be prequel to the Rebel Moon movies that is going to be giving us the origin story of the Nemesis character from the Rebel Moon movies. The writer on this one is going to be Gail Simone. Eek. Ooh, I don't know. I guess Zack Snyder has some sort of workable relationship with Simone, so because she's done work previously on a different title for him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but seems that the Snyder fanboys are super cool with Gail Simone, so I don't know, maybe let her write for them. Anyway, artist will be Federico Bertoni. Again, the book's going to be an origin story for the titular Nemesis character. And it will be published by Titan Comics. I don't think there is a release date for that. Oh yes, there is. July 16th is when it's going to be hitting bookshelves. Don't know exactly how long of a book it's going to be. Presumably not super long. It might just be a one-off graphic novel, so they might just release it all at once in book form. I don't know. I didn't see those details. If we find those details, we'll follow up. Until then, let's move on to our suggestion for the week. This week's suggestion is a book that honestly I kind of forgot about a little bit. It is a Jonathan Hickman book though, and it is called East of West from Image Comics. So it is one of Hickman's, you know, it's a creator-owned title because it's Image Comics and that's the way they work. But Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragotta, it is a sci-fi western. I mean, I have to read this just because it's a whole lot of stuff. Sci-fi western in the apocalypse that deals with the Four Horsemen. It's a lot of concepts that don't seem to, you know, work together when you say them out loud like that, but on paper, it works super well. So it is from 2013 to 2019 is when the comic book ran, again, on Image Comic Books. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are real, powerful figures manipulating events towards the end times, but death has gone rogue. Just a crazy escapist kind of book, which is exactly why you read comic books to begin with. So go check out East of West. That is your suggestion for the week. Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of the sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, probably here.